Okay, so good evening or good morning or good day or magandang oras, whatever time you are watching this video. Again, as I've told you, this is an explanation of your lesson 1 assessment quiz. I gave you that assessment quiz to determine how deep your understanding or your comprehension of the things that you have learned. And based from your scores, I could say that some of you were not able to understand the lessons. Perhaps you failed to study well or to read well the explanation. Okay, or some of you may just copy the answers without bothering to understand the lesson of this particular module 1 or your lesson 1. Okay, so this is your lesson 1 for your subject theories of crime causation and specifically philosophy of social norms and ethics, human mind and behavior. Okay, your facilitator or your presenter is Bernard. Once again, maganda sa inyong lahat. So, objective of this lesson or your module 1 is it is uh, expected that at the end of the lesson you shall be able to examine the concept of human mind and how it affects the behavior. In other words, what is the connection of our actuations of the things that are going on in our thoughts or in our mind. And then, of course, basically, at the end of this lesson, it is expected also that you should be able to apply the different types of norms in the different scenarios. So, number one question, the conscious level of awareness is essential. Take note, conscious level of awareness. So, kailan ito essential or saan ito napakahalaga? Okay? Mahalaga ba ang conscious level of awareness in remembering one's dreams and nightmares? Or in qualifying eyewitnesses? Or in remembering significant matters from one's study notes? Or in making an individual to be aware of his character and habits? Okay? So your letter A is basically more of your unconscious mind. Okay? When you remember your dreams or trying to remember your dreams or nightmares for the past nights, okay, that is actually part of your unconscious mind, okay, your unconscious mind. On the other hand, remembering significant matters from one's study notes is your subconscious mind. Subconscious meaning when you read something, okay, and however you did not do it or you did not actualize it, then basically it will just be retained in your memory, so it will become part of your subconsciousness. Now, if we call it, if you applied it or if you did it personally, then it will become part of your conscious level of awareness. Making an individual to be aware of his character and habits is also part of your unconsciousness or unconscious level of awareness. What are these? So for example, the thing that you are doing today without you knowing it, you are doing it spontaneously or automatically. Okay? Na hindi mo na iniisip kung gagawin mo to hindi, basta outright na ginagawa mo ang isang bagay. Okay? So take note kailan mahalaga ang conscious level of awareness. That is sa letter B. Yung conscious level of awareness natin ay mahalaga yan when you qualify an eyewitness. What does it mean by qualifying an eyewitness? When you say qualifying an eyewitness is a person who actually saw the commission of the crime. Okay? Or a witness is somebody who actually or personally heard or saw the commission of the crime. That's the idea. So, hindi pwedeng mag-witness ang isang tao na tulog. Hindi pwedeng mag-witness ang isang tao na nanaginip lamang. Kailangan ito ay mapatunayan sa korte na yung witness mo ay totoo at actual at personal na nandun siya doon sa crime scene. At nakita niya, narinig niya, or naamoy niya kung ano man yung nandun sa crime scene. Okay? Kaya, yun ang qualification. In other words, pag sinabing qualification of eyewitness or an eyewitness, Okay, yan ang tatanungin ng husgado sa inyo, yan ang tatanungin ng abogado sa inyo kung aktual na nakita mo. Otherwise, if a witness will be standing on the witness stand by virtue or by reason of transmitting to the court or communicating to the court what he has heard from somebody else or what he has heard from somebody's story, then that is already a disqualification for him because the testimony that he will be giving now will be considered as a hearsay testimony. Hindi pwede yung mga tinatawag nating hearsay. So, kailangan actual. So, dyan nag-work yung conscious level of awareness natin. Okay? So, pag-aralan natin na maigi yan. According to Simon Freud's levels of mind, okay? Parang iceberg, sabi niya, na yung tip ng iceberg, kunting-kunti lang yan. Pero sa ilalim niyan, napakalaki niyan. So, it's just like a tip of the iceberg yung consciousness natin. Okay, marami accordingly kay Simon Freud sa ating ginagawa could either be product of what is going on in our subconsciousness and in our unconscious mind na tinatawag niya. So practically, according to Simon Freud, 10% more or less of what we have seen, what we have heard, okay, are those things that are in our mind. And accordingly, the subconscious mind consists of 50 to 60% and the unconscious mind is 30 to 40%. Okay, so let's try to understand that further. So this is your unconscious mind. So take note, just like a tip of the iceberg, no? The conscious mind is napakaliit lang yan at makita mo sa ilalim yan, malaki yan, yan yung subconscious at saka yung unconscious mind natin. Okay, so pag-aralan natin. So according to Simon Freud, our consciousness, okay, meaning yung naririnig natin, yung nakikita natin, naamoy natin, okay, ito yung awareness natin na tinatawag, you know? Yung alam natin, okay, dahil nga conscious tayo, ibig sabihin gising tayo, okay, at yung pre-conscious naman natin or yung subconscious natin, ito yung maalala mo siya kasi nabasa mo siya or memorize mo siya pero hindi mo siya na-actualize or plinano mo siya. Okay, you have some plans in your mind. Okay, but you did not actually did the plan. So naging part na lang ng subconscious mind mo 'yon, yung mga dreams mo, mga aspirations mo, mga ganun. On the other hand, yung unconsciousness mo naman, level of awareness, that is difficult to know, no? But they are very influential in your personality or very influential in your, we call it in your behavior today. Okay? So, hinahalin tulad ni Simon Freud yung kanyang levels of personality, the superego, the ego, and the id. I will try to explain that further later on. Ano yung mga tinatawag natin na connection ng bawat isa nito sa ating level of awareness of our mind. Okay, so in the conscious mind natin, these are the small amount of mental activity we know about, meaning ito yung mga alam na natin dahil nakita natin, narinig natin, nasubukan natin, naranasan natin. Okay? So, ito yung mga what you call the thoughts. Ibig sabihin, perception, na-perceive, nakita, narinig, yun ibig sabihin nun. Kaya, sa ating utak. Okay? So, conscious tayo, aware tayo sa mga bagay na yan, kaya alam natin na ginagawa natin. So, that's the real things. Yung mga nakikita natin sa mga actual na buhay natin. Yun ang sinasabi ng conscious level of awareness. Yung mga nakikita natin sa ating actual na pamumuhay or personal na buhay. And accordingly, according to Simon Freud, the subconscious level of awareness, these are the things we could be aware of if we wanted or tried. Meaning, if we tried to do it. Inisip mong gawin, pero hindi mo ginawa. Okay? So, naging part na lang siya ng subconscious mind mo. Binasa mo lang siya, na-memorize mo, hindi mo naman in-actualize, so naging part na lang ng subconscious mind mo. So, ito mga nandito na yan, yung mga subconscious thoughts mo na yan, basically, there will come a time na makakalimutan mo yan or mas madali mo siyang makalimutan. While your conscious level of awareness, yan yung mga bagay-bagay na mahirap mong makalimutan dahil actual na nakita mo, actual na ginawa mo, actual na narinig mo. Yung subconscious naman, yan yung mga pinaplano mo lang yan, mga dreams mo lamang yan. Okay? So hindi siya actual. Okay? Ito lamang yung mga iniisip mong gagawin. Okay? So stored in your knowledge. Okay? So the subconscious basically nagiging part siya ng mga stored memories mo. Okay? Or the memories that are stored in your mind or yung mga napag-aralan mo lang pero hindi mo na-actualize. Okay? Tendency niyan makakalimutan mo. Kaya hindi ng problema sa mga face-to-face natin kapag binabasa mo lang yan, ang tendency niyan mas madaling makalimutan kasi hindi mo siya na-actualize. Okay? Yun din ang kaibahan nun. Pero pag narinig mo, ginawa mo, ang tendency niyan mas mahirap mong makalimutan. Unconscious level of awareness, things we are unaware of and dikta ng laman. Okay? So you call that the instinct. Yung desire mo, something like that, no? Bisa yun na hindi tama, yung tenga mo, hindi yan. On the other hand, the id is the part of the unconscious mind and comprises the two instinct, your eros and your eros is your sexual drive and thanatos is your aggressiveness or yung parang gusto mong manakit ng tao, gusto mong gawa ng mga violent bagay, pumatay. By the way, Thanatos is the god of death of the Greek mythology. Yung mga takot mo, your fears, unacceptable sexual desires, violent motives, irrational wishes, na? Yung mga walang kabulang bagay na gusto mong mangyari, mga masasamang bagay na gusto mong gawin, your selfish needs, your shameful experiences, and your traumatic experiences, meaning mga napagdaanan mo na mga trauma or shameful experiences, nagiging part na yan ng yung id na tinatawag natin or naging part na yan ng mind mo na basically whether you alala kung ano yung naramdaman ng kapag placed in a particular situation similar to that experience before. Whether you like it or not, okay, bigla na lang lumalabas yan na pakiramdam mo. Kaya pag narinig mo isang bagay na yan, nung unang matagal na panahon, mo ngayon parang kinakabahan siya, iniisip na takot, basta na lang bigla kang nakaramdam na tawag natin ng kaba. Okay, so that's it, no? Yun ang ating level of awareness. Okay, so ito yun yung ating super ego, the ego and the id. So pag sinabi nating ego, yan yung malit na bagay, yan yung nag-ooperate based on the reality principle. Kung ano yung actual na nakikita mo ngayon, kung ano yung actual na rinig mo ngayon, kung ano yung mga actual na experience mo ngayon, yun ngayon ang ginagawa mo para na-stimulate ka lang, nagre-react ka lang sa mga nangyayari. So something like kapag tawag natin your teacher, no, or nagalit ang yung teacher sa'yo, yan, so bigla kang tawag nating natakot, bigla kang kinabahan, bigla kang nervyos, okay? Because that is your ego, because you are aware na merong danger, merong imminent danger na tawag natin. So for example, biglang kumbaga merong mga gustong mambugbog sa'yo, okay? And because of that, bigla kang kinabahan because of that reality, yung totoong nangyayari. Pero yung unconscious mind kasi natin, yun na yung mga na-experience mo nun, bigla mo lang naalala at kinabahan ka na, parang ganon. Okay? Pero itong ego, nag-ooperate yan base sa actual na nararanasan mo for a time being or for this time being. Your id, it operates based on your pleasure principle. Yung mga urges ng katawan mo, gutom ka, nauuhaw ka, your sexual drives, yung gusto mong gumawa ng hindi tama, okay, yun ang mga id mo na tinatawag natin. Your superego, yan yung more or less, yan yung nasa unconscious din yan, yung superego mo. Pero yung bagay na yan is pwedeng affected din yan ng ego, ng reality, kasi nakikita mo yung consequences niyan. Okay, ito yung nagbabalance whether you are going to commit a crime or not, or whether you are going to commit a deviancy or not. Okay, that is your super ego. Siya yung nagbabalance, siya yung konsensya mo. At yung konsensya mo yan ay maaring based doon sa spirit mo or based yan sa mga nakikita mong consequence na nangyayari sa isang bagay. Kaya binabalance niya kung ano yung gagawin mo in reality. Number 2, Jake is emotional and very sensitive. When he was young, he was always being bullied because of his frail appearance. His being emotional is product of yung conscious level ba ng awareness niya? Take note, this is a thing of the past. No? Nangyari ito nung mga nakaraan, nung bata siya, at meron siyang mga tinatawag natin hindi na overcome na fear. Okay? So, nagkaroon siya ngayon na very emotic na siya or emotional at very sensitive, naging pusong mamuna siya. Well, basically, that is product of his unconscious level of awareness. Kasi nga, hindi niya inisip na maging sensitive siya. Basta lang naging sensitive siya. Kasi product na yon ng nabully siya nung siya ay bata. Okay, ikaw yung taong hindi sumusunod sa mga dapat na expected na gagawin, hindi ka nagtatak-in, supposedly nakatak-in kayo, so your behavior is considered as abnormal, meaning below the normal, abnormal. Okay? And further, a social norm could be referring to unwritten rules about how to behave, which provide an expected idea of how to behave in a particular social group or culture. Just like students who are expected to arrive to a lesson on the time and complete their work. Just like in your case, you are expected to read, you are expected to submit on time your SES. Okay, so that is the social norm now in your school. You have to read your notes, you have to log in during your class hours, and you have to be able to submit. Okay, you must be able to complete your SES on the set, we call it deadline. Okay, so that is an aspect of a social norm, yung mga na gagawin ng isang tao sa kanyang society or sa kanyang kultura. Which of the following is incorrect about social norm? So, incorrect. Ano yung mga hindi tama sa social norm? Okay? So, taboo is an act prohibited by legislated customs. Okay? So, taboo, no, is an act prohibited by legislated customs. Of course, no. No? Kasi ang taboo ay tinatawag natin, yan lamang yung mga prohibited or restricted na mga bagay. Okay? Ang tabu, ang mga bagay-bagay na hindi siya accepted na ginagawa, yun ang ibig sabihin niyan. Maaring walang batas. Okay? Hindi siya pinagbabawal ng batas or legislated customs, but rather, ito yung mga hindi tamang tignan. Ang ibig sabihin ng tabu. Hindi tamang tignan or hindi tamang bigkasin or pag-usapan. Yun ang tabu na tinatawag natin. So that is wrong about social norm. Okay? Ano yung tama sa social norm? Mores are norms of morality. Okay? So ang pag sabi mong Morris, no, that is Morris. Okay? Morris or Morris ang ating pronunciation diyan. Taken yan sa morality. Yun ang ibig sabihin niyan. Okay? So Morris or Morris, these are norms of morality. Okay? norms of morality, whether good or bad. In other words, pag sinabi mong Morris, maaring ito ay mabuting behavior or masamang behavior. Okay? Because take note that morality is dependent also in the tradition and culture of given country or place. In other words, what is morally right in our place may not be morally right in other country. Say for example, pwede tayo rito sa Pilipinas makitabi sa mga babae sa upuan, sa public utility vehicle or sa private vehicle or sa dito sa classroom, pwede kayo na umupo katabi ang mga babae. So that is a norm in our country. Normal lang yan sa atin. And that could be a Morris in our country. So wala kang tawag natin, wala kang bina-violate na moral law or morality concept. But in Muslim countries, bawal, considered na immorality kapag ikaw ay naupo kapag yung opposite sex or gender ay nagkatabi sa public places or sa classroom or sa sasakyan. That is considered as we call it a violation of their mores in that country, nang ibig sabihin nun. Okay? So social norms could be enacted and enforceable by the state. In other words, ang mga social norm pwede siyang maging batas. Kapag yan ay na-legislate yan, pwede siyang maging batas at i-enforce na ng bansa yung pagsunod sa social norm na yan. Ano yun? Say for example, yung bullying, no? Bullying. Noon, that is just a part of the norms in our country, yung bulahan, yung nagbubulian, okay? Okay, nagkakantsawan. So that is just a social norm. Parang kapag hindi ka nakakantsawan, ang tawag nila maigsi yung sintas mo or yung cordon mo, no? Ayan. Parang sabi nila parang hindi ata maganda yung nambubuli. So eventually gumawa sila ng anti-bullying law. So yung social norm na yan ay ginawa na ng batas para tawag natin maging legal na siya or ang state na or ang bansa na ang mag-i-enforce niyan. Okay, so say for example, sa isang lugar bawal mangantsaw, parang ganon. Tapos pag nangangantsaw ka, ikaw ay hindi tamang tignan, tapos ginawa nila ng anti-bullying law, so naging batas yung social norm na yan. In other words, ang social norm, pwede siyang maging batas. Okay? Pwede siyang unwritten law or pwede siyang maging batas. At pag naging batas na yan, it is now the country or the state who will enforce the observance of that social norm. Okay? So, on the other hand, folkways are socially approved but not necessarily morally significant. Ano mga yan? Ito yung mga pagsabing folkways, ito yung mga nakagawian ng ginagawa, mga custombre or mga tradition na ginagawa. Maaring hindi siya morally significant but they are basically, we call it already embedded in our culture or it is already passed on from generation to generations. Okay? Anong mga yan? Yung mga pagsiselebrate natin ng mga Christmas, pagsiselebrate natin ng mga All Saints, di ba? Pagsiselebrate ng mga fiesta, yun ang mga folkways na tinatawag natin. Of course, marami pang mga folkways, yung mga tradition natin. Pag-usapan natin yan mamaya. So, folkways, these are conventions or costumes. Pag sabing conventions, yung mga tradition na. Okay? Ito yung mga socially approved pero hindi siya morally significant. Say for example, yung All Saints Day. All Saints Day sa atin, no? Ang All Saints Day, among the Roman Catholics, more particularly, if you should be visiting your dead, okay, in the cemetery during those days, no? All Saints Day, and a day before or after that. At kapag hindi ka pumunta, okay lang, hindi ka pumunta, pero hindi magandang tignan dahil bakit hindi ka sumunod sa tradition, hindi ka pumunta sa sementeryo, pero wala siyang more significance yung mga folkways na yan. No? Okay? So, for example, yung mga, ano ba yung mga celebrations nila? Okay, assuming, yung caroling is already part of na yan. Okay, so hundreds of years na yan na ginagawa. So, ang tradition na yan is, pag may nag-caroling, magbibigay ka. Ngayon, wala kang nilabag na moral wrong kapag hindi ka nagbigay. So, parang ganon. Okay? That is a folkway. And then, moris, these are norms of moral, either good or bad na tawag natin. Taboos, these are act prohibited or restricted by social customs and laws. These are now the formal body of rules that could be, we call, are already, so that a particular social norm, okay, or a particular folkway or moris or taboo already is already part of our legislation or our laws in the land. John Ray, a third-year criminologist, is usually reprimanded by the college dean for his refusal to observe the police discipline implemented in the school. So ayaw lang niya. Ayaw niyang sa police discipline. Okay? So pag pinag-uusapan natin ang tawag natin ang social norm, ang tawag natin sa kanya ay meron siyang abnormal behavior. Pero kapag yung pag-observe ng police discipline na yan ay merong kaakibat na mga fines, penalties, okay, or punishment like that, okay, at tawag natin na ayaw mo talagang sumunod, okay, in spite na meron na mga fines and penalties, okay, ikaw na yung tinatawag na deviant, okay, you are deviant. But however, ang deviancy kasi, more or less kasi ang deviancy ay medyo mayroon kang binabiolate na tawag natin mga written rules natin sa deviant behavior. Criminal behavior, of course, if that particular social norm is already part of the laws and you did not follow it, then you are already what you call manifesting a criminal behavior, or if your behavior is an obvious violation of criminal laws, then your behavior is considered as criminal behavior. Okay, so delinquent behavior, it could also be referring to deviant behavior. Okay, social norms, the folkways, no? These are respecting for the elders, like pagmamano or kissing of hands, the addressing of po or opo or uncle or auntie or kuya or ate, and that is already what you call a folkway, or yan ay tradition na sa Pilipinas. Kaya pag may mga bata, hindi sila marunong tumawag ng kuya or ate sa mga nakakatanda, well, sinasabi natin na wala kang respeto. So, nawala yung tradition. Okay? So, yung panliligaw ng babae, yung pupuntahan yung babae sa kanilang bahay, okay, that is a conventional courting of women. So, yan ay mga folkways natin na tinatawag. Ngayon, pag niligawan mo sa kalsada, parang hindi siya magandang tignan, pero wala kang nilalabag na moral law natin. Yung mga folkways na tinatawag natin. Ano yung mga traditional foods or drinks? So, for example, kapag maalala ko yung tawag natin yung Holy Week. Okay, during Holy Week, particularly Good Friday, it is already a tradition not to eat meat, no? Hindi na kumakain ng tawag natin ng mga karne kapag Good Friday, parang ganon. Okay? So, kapag kumain ka ng karne during Good Friday, you are not violating something, pero you are actually going against your folkways or your tradition. Okay? So, ano yung mga traditional drinks? For example, pag may mga kasalan, merong mga sineserve sila, either basi, either whatever kind of drinks na traditional na iniinom nila. Okay? Yung mga folk ways na tatawag natin, or yung mga umiinom ng salabat every morning, tradition na nila. So something like that, no? And then conventional dressing. Pag conventional dressing, ito yung mga, ano ba yung mga kasuotan ng unang panahon? Yung kasuotan ng unang panahon, yung mga mahaba, no? Like that, no? Those are folk ways na tatawag natin. Or in other words, yung conventional dressing na yan, among the IP or the indigenous people, sa mga tribe, particularly sa amin dito sa Cordillera, meron sila mga tapis na tawag natin sinusuot. Okay? Yun na tinatawag natin mga conventional clothings or dressing na tinatawag natin. Okay? Kapag di ka na nagsusuot ng ganon, you are not violating something. Only that, according to your tradition, hindi siya tamang tignan. Parang ganon. So, bawat kultura, bawat lugar, may mga traditional dress sila na dapat nilang isusuot. Parang ganon. Rituals. So, yung mga rituals. No? Marami tayong rituals na ginagawa. Na kapag hindi mo ginawa, sabi nila, bakit yan? Hindi niya ginawa yung ritual. No? Parang ganon. Pero wala kang violate na moral law. The of fiestas and other anniversaries. What about Morris? Morris, these are, sabi ko nga yung mga, these are codes of morality, ang Morris. So, for example, yung decency inside churches or worship places. Like your pananamit mo, di ba? Among the Roman Catholics, long time ago, naabutan ko yan, kapag yung mga babae, kailangan pag pumasok yan sa, tawag natin sa mga Catholic churches, dapat mayroong covering yung kanilang ulo. May cover na ganyan. Okay, so yun yung mga Morris noon. Kapag hindi ka nag-cover ng ulo mo noon, you are considered to be morally, we call it immoral, no? Kasi hindi mo sinusunod yung utos na tama yung pananamit, parang ganon. Okay, kapag pumunta ka doon sa church na napakanipis yung damit mo, kita-kita yung kaluluwa mo, ano? So you are now violating the mores of your church, meaning your morality. Parang, uy, napaka-immoral naman yan, parang ganon. Okay? Yung mga behavior mo sa church na, kumbaga, parang iba yung mga words na ginagamit mo sa church, may pagkabastos ka, parang ganon, nagsasalita ka ng masama sa loob ng church, okay, nagmumura ka sa loob ng church, so that is basically an anti-Morris na tinatawag natin because inside the church, you're expected to be holy in that place, parang ganon. Okay, so avoidance of premarital sex, that is also a Morris, meaning in our country, hindi naman siya tradition, pero in our country parang ang ang standard of morality nila is yung ang babae at saka lalaki ay walang premarital sex before walang sexual intercourse before marrying, no? Before the wedding day, parang ganon. So yun ang parang standard of morality, no? So during those times, yung Morris na yan, kapag yung babae saka si lalaki ay ginagawa na yung ginagawa ng mag-asawa na hindi pa sila kasal, so they are considered as immoral, no? Mga hindi tama yung kanilang ginagawa or sila ay they are immoralidad, tawag natin sa ating wikang Filipino, ano? Ganun yon. Then sanctity of marriage, ang ibig sabihin naman yan, okay, si babae, no? May asawa ka na nga tapos nagpapaligo ka pa sa iba, nagkipag-boyfriend ka pa sa iba. So basically that is going against the mores of that country or of that religion. Parang ganon. So pag ginagawa mo 'yon, you are considered as immoral, no? And then honesty, no? Yung pagsinungaling, ano, is we call it against morality kasi nasa 10 commandments yan eh. Yung tawag natin thou shall not bear false witness, no? Huwag kang dapat maging false witness sa yung neighbor, parang ganon. So kapag ikaw hindi honest, ang tingin sa'yo, immorality ka, parang ganon. They are considered as, ito yung, alam nyo class, yung tinatawag nating crimes involving moral turpitude, mga ganon. Yung mga lahat ng sa Bible, sa 10 Commandments, if you committed that, okay, that is part of crimes involving moral turpitude or nakakasira sa moralidad. Yun ang ibig sabihin nun. What else? Having a tattoo is still an issue among the uniformed personnel of the Tri-Bureau. Okay, so to the traditional officers of the Tri-Bureau, having a tattoo is an example of a taboo na tinatawag natin. Meaning, kapag nag-apply ka sa tawag natin sa Tri-Bureau at meron kang tattoo, no, minsan pinapatanggal yan. No? Ayaw nila actually na mayroong tattoo. Kasi sa kanila, that is a taboo. Meaning, that is out of place. Parang prohibited yan. Parang ganon. Okay? Yun ang ibig sabihin ng taboo. Yun. Okay? Hindi siya manifestation ng deviancy. Hindi siya unethical. Hindi siya indication ng criminal involvement. Pero sa mga traditional officers, meaning yung mga sinauna, ng mga officers, no? Yung kanilang kasi nga noon kapag meron kang tawag natin, meron kang tattoo, para kang ikaw ay sanggano or para kang isang criminal or para kang loko-lokong tao, parang ganon. So para sa kanila, hindi ka tanggap-tanggap yung may tattoo. Kaya it is considered as taboo to them yung mayroong tattoo. Parang yun ang ibig sabihin noon. Okay? So, taboo, these are, say for example, sa mga Muslim, eating pork is a taboo, meaning ito ay hindi ka tanggap sa kanila. No? Hindi dapat. Okay? Sa mga uniform personnel, yung pagkakaroon ng tattoo is what you call a taboo. It's a prohibition. Okay? Polygamy. Okay? Karoon ng napakaraming asawa, that is a taboo, meaning yan ay hindi katanggap-tanggap. Okay? On the other hand, the discussion of sexual talks or sexual education in the family is a taboo. Ibig sabihin nun, parang ang taboo kasi hindi lang siya ibig sabihin na bawal, kundi ito rin mga bagay-bagay na hindi dapat pinag-uusapan, parang ganon. Okay? So just like, or hindi siya katanggap-tanggap kaya hindi siya pinag-uusapan. Kaya basically, yung sexual education sa bahay, hindi yan pinag-uusapan because para siyang prohibited na pag-usapan. It's a taboo, parang ganon. Yung mga kaso ng LGBTQ na tinatawag natin, okay, so consider din yan na taboo sa mga iba. Okay? Because there are now people na accepted sa kanila na mayroong bakla, mayroong tumboy sa family. Yung mga traditional, sa kanila, hindi katanggap-tanggap na mayroong tawag natin, mayroong mga members ng LGBTQ sa kanilang bahay. So sa kanila, taboo ang tawag natin. So, parang ganito yan eh. May joke tayo na ang mga bakla, bakit dumarami, hindi naman nanganganak. Okay? Actually, marami na rin yan. Marami na rin yan 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 50 years ago. Kanya lang, noon kasi, pag bakla ka, you are considered as an outcast kasi tabu yung pagiging bakla. Kaya tinatago yung pagiging bakla nung mga panahon na yon, parang ganoon. Parang ngayon kasi medyo mas na-open kasi yung mind ng mga iba, tinatanggap na nila, kaya parang normal na yung pagkakaroon ng member ng LGBTQ sa isang family, parang ganoon. Unlike long time ago, it's considered a taboo actually, a prohibition or a restriction sa isang family. Okay, but of course, until now, mayroon pa rin mga families na to them, an LGBTQ member of the family is still a taboo or unaccepted sa family nila. Okay, so the laws, ito yung sabi natin, no? Yung nandoon sa Ten Commandments, ginawan ng batas, just like your kasara or your concubinage, adultery, seduction, abduction, acts of lasciviousness, and rape. So, basically, pag nakomit mo yan, they are bawal, no, sa social norm. Pero ngayon, ginawa ng batas, so naging legislated na siya. Okay? Bigamy, dishonesty of public officials, di ba? Sabi ko kanina yung honesty. Honesty is a morris or a moral code. No? Ngayon, ginawan ng batas yan. So may mga kaso na ng dishonesty kapag mga public officials and public officers. Pwede rin yung mga tawag natin yung libel, no? That's part of your dishonesty. If you violated honesty as a morality, then meron ng mga laws natin that are directly punishing those acts. Just like as a, for example, perjury or lying under oath. Okay? Then unjust vexation, ano yan? Yung pinapahiya, no? Pagpapahiya sa isang tao, no? Ganon. And then prohibition on incest relationship. Yan. So, dati, bawal na yan. Okay? It's a taboo. Pero ngayon, ginawa na ng batas. Kaya, meron tawag nating yung may mga tinatawag nating sa ibang mga bansa, meron silang hanggang ilang degree ng relationship yung pwedeng mag-asawa, parang ganon. Now, sanctity of marriage is valuable to most Filipinos. Sanctity of marriage, so I explained that already a while back. It is not a tradition. It is not a folkway. It is not a custom. It is actually a moral code or moris na tinatawag natin. Okay, next, ethics. Okay, so in your notes, pag pinag-usapan kasi natin ng social norms, we could not avoid talking about ethics. Meaning, what is ethics is the determination of what is moral and what is morally bad and what is right and what is wrong. Just like I mentioned a while back, moris is actually dependent, or moral code is dependent on the culture, the tradition, and the religion of countries. Or social norms are, we call it different in every culture or every tradition or every country. So what I mentioned a while back is that what is socially acceptable in the country may not be socially acceptable in other place. Parang ganon. Okay? So, now, papasok ngayon ng ethics to determine alin na ba yung socially accepted. So, yun ang ethics. That is now the determination of what is morally good and what is morally bad and what is right and what is wrong. Okay? And it is derived from the old French term ethique, or the ethici, Latin, and the Greek ethique, which means the science of morals. Meaning, pag sinabing science of morals, science meaning it is the systematic study of what is moral and immoral na tinatawag natin. Okay, yun ang trabaho ng ethics. Papag-aralan ano nga ba yung tama, ano nga ba yung mali. And of course, in ethics, nandoon yung emphasis ng pagpipili mo ng tama. The emphasis is the determination of what is right and the choosing of what is right. Yun ang ethics. So, Police Corporal Ramiro was reported to be frequently visiting houses of El Refuse. So, pumapasok siya sa mga bahay-bahay ng mga houses of El Refuse. Ano mga ito? Yung mga KTV bar, no? KTV bar, mga karaoke bars, no? Mga nightclubs kung saan mayroong mga lewd dancers, may mga sumasayaw na mga hubad, no? Okay, sa mga inuman, like that. Those are houses of El Refuse na tinatawag natin. Okay, that unusual behavior is a violation of the ethical standards of the police. Sir, wala naman kasi sa aming notes yan, ethical standards of the police. Ito nga, kailangan nga natin mauwahan. Okay, ang ating binabasa. Kasi, kung wala namang batas na nagbabawal sa kanila to visit houses of El Refuse, hindi siya nag-violate ng law unless meron ng batas. For now, wala pa naman. Okay? So, hindi siya violation ng social norm because sabi nga natin, ang social norm ay halos walang consequence kapag hindi mo sinunod yung isang bagay. Okay? Pag sinabi mong professional conduct of the police kasi, ito naman yung paano ka kumilos, paano ka gumalaw, at paano ka magtrabaho. Kaya nga professional conduct. Meaning, what is your behavior, what would be your the way you talk, okay? What are the things that you do while you are doing your profession? That is the professional conduct, okay? So, ethical standards of the police, ito na yung mga nagbabawal. Okay? Ito yung mga kumukontra sa dapat na ethics ng police. So, visiting houses of El Refuse is unethical. Okay? Unethical. Kung maaring wala pang punishment, maaring walang reprimand, maaring walang penalty, pero napaka-unethical siya, hindi siya katanggap-tanggap na tama bilang isang police officer. That is the idea. Number 8, Aristotle's ethical premise. Okay? Ano nga ba yung ethical premise ni Aristotle? Okay, letter A, pwede rin yan. Individuals should pursue happiness. Pwede rin yan. Ano? Okay? People must pursue knowledge. Okay, pag pinag-usapan natin kasing ethics is ano nga ba yung tama? Ano yung good life? Okay? Nung unang panahon, if you are doing what is good, you are considered to be ethical. Parang ganun ang idea ng mga philosophers noon. So, in case of Socrates, okay, his yardstick for what is good is the pursuing of knowledge. Okay? For Socrates, no? Para sa kanya, ang measurement, whether you are doing what is good or right, okay, that is your pursuing of knowledge, yung pag-aaral, yung dapat malaman mo yung mga bagay-bagay, yun para kay Socrates. Kasi para kay Socrates, tawag natin, ignorance is not an excuse, parang ganon. Okay? But of course, you are going to discuss those things in your subject ethics later on. I'm just giving you an idea. Okay? So, tranquility of mind that is by, those are the Epicurus, no? Mga Epicureanism yan. On Aristotle, yung kanyang pinaka-premise is you develop your inherent ability. Ano yun? Inherent. In other words, kung ano yung meron ka, okay, kapag magaling kang umawit, dapat i-develop mo siya kasi yun yung inherent ability mo. Kapag hindi mo ginawa yung gusto mong ginagawa or yung ability mo, sabi ni Aristotle, hindi ka magiging masaya. Yun ang sabi niya. Para maging masaya ka, dapat gawin mo yung inherent na ability mo. Okay, mahilig ka sa boxing. Magaling ka sa boxing, di ba? Okay, mahilig ka sa basketball pero walang hilig sa yung basketball, wag ka nang mag-basketball, parang ganun, okay? But naturally, you are good in playing basketball, you pursue that because once you pursue that, you will attain that happiness. That is the idea of Aristotle, yung pinaka-premise, okay? So, to discuss further, kay Aristotle is this, no? For Aristotle, ethics is each person has a natural obligation, that is written in your notes, to achieve, become, and make something of himself by pursuing his true ends and goals in life. Meaning, kailangan ma-attain mo yung pinaka-purpose mo sa buhay. Just like, say, for example, criminology ka. Pinaka-purpose mo, makapasok ka as a law enforcer in any law enforcement agency. So, eventually, pag hindi mo nagawa yon, according to Aristotle, that is unethical. Hindi mo nagawa yung pinaka-end mo or pinaka-goal mo sa buhay, parang ganon. But going beyond that, actually, ang sabi ni Aristotle, every species has its own rule. Bawat nilalang, bawat bagay ay merong tinatawag natin, merong purpose sa buhay. Kaya kapag yung native na manok mo, kinatay, tinula, huwag kang umiyak kasi ng purpose ng manok na yan. Kakainin, parang ganon, di ba? Okay? Yun ang idea. Anong ibig sabihin yan? Fulfillment of the goal or the rule is the ultimate good for a thing or a person or animal. So for example, alam mo na meron kang inherent ability to sing. Okay? So then, pursue that. Yun ang ibig sabihin nun. Okay? You pursue your natural ability. Yun ang sabi ni Aristotle para tama ka. Huwag mong gawin yung mga hindi dapat sa'yo or hindi bagay sa'yo. Ganun. Okay? Pinipilit mo na maging criminology pero lupay-pay naman yung kamay mo. Parang ganon, di ba? Okay? Hindi ka nababagay. Pwede ka dun sa pang PMA, pedicure, manicure, no? Ayan. Okay, so according to Aristotle, nothing is vain in nature. Anong ibig sabihin yan? Lahat ng bagay sa mundo, mayroong mga purpose. Okay? You might be wondering, sir, bakit hindi ka nagpulis? Kasi nga, hindi yun ang aking inherent ability. My inherent ability is to teach, parang ganon. May purpose ako, hindi ako para sa police, hindi ako para sa military, parang ganon. Okay? So maaaring sabi nila, oh, bakit yung mga kaibigan ko naging engineer, lahat sila, ikaw naging criminology student? Well, hindi yun ang aking purpose, hindi ang aking hilig. So hindi ka magiging masaya, sabi ni Aristotle. So hindi tama, sabi ni Aristotle, na gawin mo yung mga bagay-bagay na hindi naman yun ang pinaka-end mo sa buhay or pinaka-purpose mo sa buhay or hindi naman naayon sa yung inherent na ability. Yun ang sabi ni Aristotle. Which of the following is not considered a folkway? Okay? So, now discuss natin yan. Celebrating fiesta is a folkway. Respect for elders, that's also a folkway. Okay? 3 o'clock praying time, that's a folkway actually, no? Yung every 3 o'clock na nalangin yan actually. Kanya lang, yung mga folkways natin ay nawawala na. So, bibihira na yun na nanalangin ng 3 o'clock. Pero mga Mga kwan yan, mga tradition yan nung unang panahon na wala lang yan. Okay? Wearing of close-neck blouse for women as mandated by the religion. Meaning, mandated, no? Ang folkway kasi, hindi siya necessary na mandated, no? Okay? So ito, yung letter D, that is more of, what you call that, the Morris. More of a Morris yan. Okay? Kasi kapag pumunta ka doon sa church na labas yung cleavage mo sa dibdib mo, di ba? Kitang-kita pa yung thighs mo. Ayan. Okay? That is immoral ang tingin nila yan. So letter D is more of a Morris na tinatawag natin. Number 10, what is not true about illegal and unethical behaviors? Stepping on the foot. Take note, what is not true? Ano ang hindi totoo? Patungkol sa mga illegal at mga unethical behaviors. Okay? Stepping on the foot of another person without saying sorry is unethical. Tama yon. Naapakan mo. Imbis na mag-sorry ka, nagalit ka pa. Oh, wala namang mata yung aking paa, parang ganoon. Kasalanan ng paa mo kasi nagpaapak, parang ganoon, di ba? So unethical 'yon. Okay? So letter B, unethical behaviors. Okay, punta sa letter D. Sneezing in public without covering one's nose or mouth is unethical. Tama 'yon. Hindi magandang tignan yung mag-sneeze ka. Hindi mo kinover yung mouth mo, yung nose mo sa harapan nila. Nagliparan yung mga COVID-19 mo, di ba? Nagliparan sila lahat yung mga laway mo. So very unethical, hindi magandang tignan. Okay? All illegal behaviors are unethical. Tama. Lahat ng mga illegal na behavior, mga unethical yan. Okay? Yan. Then, letter B, unethical behaviors are always considered illegal. Of course, no. May mga unethical behavior na hindi naman siya illegal. Kasi pag sinabi natin illegal, ano yung illegal? These are violations of laws, ang ibig sabihin noon. Just like sneezing in public. Kapag wala namang nagbabawal niyan, that is not illegal. Di ba? Pero unethical siya, parang ganon. Naapakan mo yung paa ng tao, di ka nag-sorry. Okay? That is unethical. Okay? Pero hindi siya illegal kasi walang batas na nagbabawal. Basta ang idea niyan, okay? Maraming mga unethical na behavior natin na walang batas na sumasaklaw, kaya hindi siya illegal. Okay? Pero ang mga illegal na behavior, yan ay mga unethical yan automatically. Okay? So that is your explanation for your lesson 1. Okay? I just hope na as we move on, ay tataas na yung mga scores nyo. Ganun lang ang gagawin ko yan sa mga assessment quiz ninyo. Gagawin ko yan practical. Yung mga questions, mga examples, yung mga questions. So, para ma-determine ko whether naintindihan nyo ang yung pinapag-aralan o hindi. Okay? So, kaya pag nag-aaral kayo, just like I mentioned in your orientation, the technique or one of the techniques of your modular learning or self-learning is you have to read and read until you understand it, hanggang maunawaan mo yung binabasa mo. Pag naunawaan mo na, mariretain na sa utak mo yun. Pag naunawaan mo yan, pwede mo lang i-lecture sa iba or pwede ka nang magbigay ng example sa sarili mong example na pwede mong maibigay, parang ganon. Kaya usually mga quiz ko niyan sa inyo, hindi ko siya tatanungin as is yung mga nandyan sa notes ninyo. Ang gagawin ko dyan ay magbibigay ako ng examples para makita ko kung naintindihan nyo yung mga binabasa nyo. Okay? So, I just hope that you learn something and I just hope that you are going to read your modules before you answer your modules. Hindi yung compliance na kinokopya nyo lang yung sagot without understanding your modules. Okay? Do not defeat the purpose of our flexible learning in the absence of our face-to-face review. Okay? So, once again, magandang oras sa inyo. Okay? Good day, good afternoon, good evening, and God bless you.